Good evening and welcome to the Manteno Village Board meeting for Monday, June 21st, 2021. I'd like to call the meeting to order, and if we could all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Boyce. Martin.
Here.
Dole.
Here.
Crockett.
Here.
Geske.
Here.
Phillips.
Here.
We have a quorum. Tonight, as always, we'll begin with the approval of our minutes. We have the regular minutes from our June 7th, 2021 board meeting that have been included in everyone's packet. Hopefully everyone has had the opportunity to review them. Are there any changes, additions, deletions, corrections? Seeing none, I'd accept a motion to waive the reading of the minutes and approve them as presented by the clerk.
Make the motion.
Motion by Phillips.
Second.
Second by Martin. Roll call.
Phillips.
Yes.
Martin.
Yes.
Dole.
Abstain.
Crockett.
Abstain.
Geske.
Yes.
I vote aye. Motion carries. Public participation, Chris, I don't see anyone here. Does anybody send anything in to address the board?
Nope.
No? Okay. Village President's report, just very short tonight. We had the golf cart parade on Friday and the Rockin' on Main event. The golf cart parade went very well. Everything worked out fine. I think there was around 45 golf carts that were in the parade. Thank you to the police for the traffic control and Ryan and Public Works for blocking interchanges, intersections. Everything worked really well. The Rockin' on Main event was a huge success. I mean, I think it was probably one of the biggest crowds we've ever had. Of course, the weather was perfect. So probably close to 1,000 people on the square on Second. Everything went very well. I talked to the chief a few minutes ago. He said there was absolutely no incidents, that everything went off exactly the way that things were supposed to. I know the Chamber of Commerce had had a couple different businesses that were represented there that were passing out material. Some of a couple of food truck or two were there. I know that they ran out of food because there were so many people. We saw food getting delivered from a number of different restaurants throughout the community, delivering food into the crowd, and I know all the businesses in the area on 2nd Street were jam-packed all night long. So kudos to Sarah and her planning and to getting it planned and getting it accomplished. But like I said, the weather certainly helped, and I think people came out because people hadn't been out for a while, and this is the first one that we've had. Hopefully we'll replicate this when we have the ones in July and August. But a great night to be downtown Manteno. Village Administrator's report, Mr. LaRock.
I have nothing this evening, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Committee reports, Public Works and Utilities. Mr. Boyce has a couple items. He is not here tonight. I'll just go through and read those. Under old business, he has nothing. Under new business, he has ordinance 2105, which is an ordinance approving an agreement between the Village of Manteno and Kerwick 9 LLC regarding the development and grant of easements for and to real property located south of Wright Estate subdivisions, 12th and 20th editions, and east of the South Creek subdivision, 9th edition, in the Village of Manteno, Kankakee County, Illinois. Chris, you want to give them just a brief rundown on what we're doing there or what's that all about?
Yeah, as part of the South Path extension, takes off south from Wrights Park and goes through the Kerwick property, so we needed easements to be able to put the path through there. This is an agreement that facilitates that. He asked for a couple of things in return, which we had agreed to early on, so this just puts that language in there to make sure that everything was covered and written down. So.
And that path is, it's staked out and ready to start construction. So this is pretty, very timely to get this done so they can continue the construction there. I don't know, did they work there today? Well, it rained a little bit, I know that.
No, yeah, they were working Jacobs Park area, and they're laying out stuff from that point, heading east, north and east.
The other item that Mr. Boyce had on his agenda is ordinance 2106, which is an ordinance of the Village of Manteno approving and accepting certain easements for the public access and stormwater purposes on real property owned by Stewart Construction, Inc., Stonegate Villas Condominium Association, and Kerwick 9 LLC. Chris, this is the same thing then?
Yeah, this is basically there was 3 easements that we needed for the all legs of the path, and these or acceptances of all 3 of those easements from the property owner so we can get the path installed.
So just when people, when the path is done, they'll be able to walk from Heritage Park over to Wright Park, continue following that around, and this will also then connect Heritage Park with Jacobs Park over in South Creek subdivision. So this is about like a mile and a half additional walking path.
Yeah, we also have a leg in Heritage Park that goes north from the baseball field up to Cook Street, so you'll be able to get on the path coming right out of Dairy Queen if they want to. So,
Okay, that'll be on the consent agenda. The other items that Mr. Boyce has, he has a Public Works Committee meeting scheduled for June 22nd, tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. here in the Village Boardroom. Properties and Recreation, Mr. Martin.
No old or new business. Jim, you want to give an update on these?
These, the fence posts are supposed to go in tomorrow. So after the fence posts cure, they'll be putting the fence up. The coating and then the pickleball netting will go there soon after. So if everything goes right within the next 2 weeks, everything should be done, so.
I know we left the basketball court or hoops up there, are they going to be usable, you think, once the fence goes up? Are we going to be able, is that going to, I mean, it's obviously not going to be able to play basketball at the same time, but you can play basketball at one end and pickleball at the other. We'll see how that goes and make sure that the fence is able to go up around those. Probably wouldn't hurt to give them a coat of paint too, matching the fence once it's up there. But I guess let's wait and see how it looks with the fence and how it all works, whether or not they're going to stay there or not.
It'll be a half-court thing, situation, with the nets up, so, 2 half courts, which is okay. So, yeah, we'll take a look at that, see how that plays out.
But again, that's kind of, subject to, we left them up there not knowing exactly how it's going to work, and we'll see if it's going to work, great, we'll paint them. If it doesn't work, then we'll take them down.
And then we had on top of that, we had a great parks meeting. And we're looking into maybe some parking situations down at Thieves Park because of those pickleball courts get popular, as opposed to just walking. We were going to look at some ideas for parking off the street. So we'll bring that up, get some ideas. Next Parks and Recreation Commission meeting, Wednesday, 7/21/21, 7 o'clock right here.
Thank you, Mr. Martin. Public Safety and Health, Mrs. Dole.
Thank you, Mayor. I have ordinance 21-04, an ordinance amending Title 7 Traffic Regulations, Chapter 12, Seizure and Impoundment of Motor Vehicles, Section 7-12-1, definitions in Section 7-12-2, violation of the Village of Manteno Municipal Code. This is due to recent state law amendments. The village must update our ordinances to maintain continuity with those changes. This cleans up some discrepancies between the two and ensures our officers have the proper versions of the new laws to enforce. I don't know, Al, if you wanted to add to this, or?
No, not really. It's just cleaning up some language, keeping up the current law and our current practices.
Okay, very good. Also have ordinance 2107, an ordinance amending Title 7 Traffic Regulations, Chapter 6, Stopping, Standing, Parking, by changing Section 7-6-1, Parking Prohibited, Item L, Specific Streets of the Municipal Code for the Village of Manteno. Because of the square on 2nd continuous to be a popular location for children and adults to congregate, and because cars parked along the east side of Walnut Street create many blind spots, the board and the police determined making this area a no parking zone is necessary to keep pedestrians safe. This is something we have talked about at different times, and I know the police have brought that concern up too, so that decision was made and we'll vote on that tonight.
And that was, we did that temporarily over the weekend with the event that took place there on Friday. Jim, you put out all those buckets. Was there any issues at all with I think it had a lot of people downtown, and still there was plenty of places for everybody to park.
I feel like that road's going to be it'll be a lot safer for the kids. I noticed even driving through the weekend that it kind of opens up that area quite a bit and gives it better visual.
So after this is passed, then you'll be painting the curb yellow from the alley behind the pub area north to the alley next to the police department.
Correct.
So,
All right,
and signs, you're going to put signs on the light poles?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And next Public Safety and Health Committee meeting is Wednesday, July 14th, 2021, 7 a.m. at the Village Boardroom. Got a couple other safety tips and some thoughts I want to keep everybody in mind. Last night, a tornado ripped through the Naperville-Woodridge area. May and June are the peak months for tornadoes in the Midwest. The good news is that you can survive a tornado. Being prepared is critical. By following these simple guidelines, you can protect yourself and your family. The most important things to remember are: get in. If you are outside, get inside. If you're already inside, get as far into the middle of the building as possible. Get down. Get underground if possible. If you cannot, go to the lowest floor possible. Cover up. Flying and falling debris is a storm's #1 killer. Use pillows, blankets, coats, helmets, etc. to cover up and protect your head and body from flying debris. Again, the key to tornado survival is a safety plan. Your plan at home should be known by everyone in the home and practiced at least twice each year. Children who may be at home alone should know what to do and where to go even if no adults are there. Your selection of a tornado shelter in your home will depend on many factors. When selecting your shelter area, remember that the goal should be: get as low as possible, completely underground is best. Put as many barriers between you and the outside as possible. It's not the wind inside and around a tornado that kills and injures people. It's the flying debris that's in the wind. Again, it's extremely unlikely your home will be hit by a tornado. However, following these simple steps can protect your family if it ever happens. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Dole. Planning and zoning, Mr. Crockett.
Thank you, Mayor. I do not have anything on the agenda this evening. We do have a Planning and Zoning Committee meeting scheduled for tomorrow at 7 a.m. here in the Village Boardroom, and the next Planning Commission meeting is scheduled for July 7th, 6 p.m., also here in the Village Boardroom. And that's all I have for this evening.
Thank you, Mr. Crockett. Finance, Mr. Geske.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a motion to authorize and purchase two 2022 Ford F-750 trucks from Linco Equipment Sales in Maryville, Indiana for a cost of $135,229 each, or a grand total of $270,458 total. This is a state bid price and was something we had budgeted in this year's budget, and very important equipment for us come wintertime with snow plows.
Do we have any idea how long it's going to take? Will we have these if we order them now?
We're looking at hopefully December, January. So hopefully prime time for when we'll need them. So we'll try to get this order in as soon as possible.
Okay. Also, we have payment of bills in the amount of $42,515.56, of which none are TIF bills. No bills were paid and authorized between board cycle and our next Finance Committee meeting scheduled for the 14th of July at 7 a.m. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Geske. General Government, Mr. Phillips.
Nothing to report, Mayor.
So the items on tonight's consent agenda will be as follows. Under old business, we have nothing. Under new business, we have ordinance 2104, which is an ordinance amending Title 7 Traffic Regulations, Chapter 12, Seizure and Impoundment of Motor Vehicles, Section 7-12-1 Definitions, and Section 7-12-2 Violations of the Village of Manteno Municipal Code. Item number 2 is ordinance 2105, which is an ordinance approving the agreement between the Village of Manteno and Kerwick 9 LLC regarding the development and grant of easements for and to real property located south of Wright Estate Subdivision, 12th and 20th editions, and east of the South Creek Subdivision, 9th edition, in the Village of Manteno, Kankakee County, Illinois. Item number 3 is ordinance 2106, which is an ordinance of the Village of Manteno approving and accepting certain easements for public access and stormwater purposes on real property owned by Stewart Construction, Inc., Stonegate Villas Condominium Association, and Kerwick 9 LLC. Item number 4 is ordinance 2107, which is an ordinance amending Title 7 Traffic Regulations, Chapter 6, Stopping, Standing, Parking, by changing Section 7-6-1, Parking Prohibited, Item L, Specific Streets of the Municipal Code for the Village of Manteno. The awarding of bids, a motion to authorize the purchase of two 2022 Ford F-750 trucks from Linco Equipment Sales out of Maryville, Indiana for a cost of $135,229, or a total of $274.58, which is a state Sourcewell contract price. The financials, motion to approve the payment of the bills in the amount of $42,515.56, of which none are TIF 1. Is there any items on the consent agenda that need to be voted on individually? Seeing none, I'd accept the motion to take a single roll call vote on the question of passage of the agenda items as read.
So moved.
Motion by Geske,
I'll second.
second by Crockett. Roll call.
Geske?
Yes.
Crockett?
Yes.
Martin?
Yes.
Dole?
Yes.
Phillips?
Yes.
Motion carries. I accept the motion to approve by unanimous vote the ordinances, resolutions, motions, and orders contained in the consent agenda as read.
Make the motion.
Motion by
Second.
Dole, second by Martin. Roll call.
Dole?
Yes.
Martin?
Yes.
Crockett?
Yes.
Geske?
Yes.
Phillips?
Yes.
Motion carries. Comments? You have anything tonight you'd like to talk about, Mr. Martin?
Nothing at all.
Mrs. Dole?
Well, it's exciting to know that we had rocking on Main Street and stuff last night, so we got the 4th of July, or actually the 3rd of July, we'll have fireworks and getting back to some normalcy, so it's good to know and good to be able to talk about it, so.
Yeah, just looking, you're right, this is the last meeting
Yeah,
before
it
the
just
4th
made
of
me think
July
about it, so.
holiday weekend. The Sportsman's Club is having their fireworks on the 3rd, as always. It's a Saturday night, not, Saturday is always the night before the 4th, so Saturday night, be a lot of people in town. I know, we worked with the Sportsman's Club last year on contributing money for the fireworks that never happened in 2020. So I think they promised to have a new and expanded version of the 21 fireworks. So hopefully everyone will come out to that and we'll have good weather. Again, you'll hopefully have a lot of people in town. Chief, I'm sure you'll have lots of traffic to contend with, but you'll do fine.
And hopefully, thank you again for Sarah, all the work she did, and the village, the Public Works, you guys had a lot of cleaning up to do, I'm sure, and organizing the first part, so thank you very much for all you do.
Thank you, Mr. Dole. Mr. Crockett?
No comments, Mayor.
Mr. Geske?
I have nothing.
Mr. Phillips?
No comment.
I have nothing further. I'd accept a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Dole,
I'll second.
second by Crockett. Roll call.
Dole?
Yes.
Crockett?
Yes.
Martin?
Yes.
Geske?
Yes.
Phillips?
Yes.
Carries. Thank you very much for coming and for watching.